Right, here we go then. I will say here we go. That's the earwig going over a cliff, isn't it? That's what he said. What some young people have asked me how to hone a chisel. I'm hoping that I can show you DIY. Right, stone. Now the best kind of slipstone you need, I think, is this kind, which is an India rubber stone, and that has got a rough one side, smooth the other side. This you can make your own box, or sometimes you can buy them in a box. There's one there. That is quite a fine stone, that is, and that's already in a box, look. So, but I very rarely use that one. That's the one that lives in my shed most of all, and this is the one that goes out on jobs, and that's why I've lost that little bit out of there, because it used to be nice and tight in there. And then I've got the fine one there for when I'm doing something really fine. Okay, so your chisels, your slipstones, and a little something. This is an old bit of wallet that I use for taking the burr off. You'll see that in a minute. And then, or alternatively, a piece of wood. Right. So there we go. Then you need something to lubricate that stone. You can use water, you can use oil, you can use these things. This is a well-known make, as you can see. The problem with these things is they're designed to dry and dispel electricity, and they will dry on your stone, and that actually blocks it up. Otherwise, any kind of oil, alternatively, and in fact I prefer it in preference, white spirit. Reason why I like white spirit is it cleans the stone, it washes all the old metal off your stone and gets it nice and clean, and brings the sharpness back up again. So I'm for white spirit. Okay, so you take your chisels along to a sharpening company. Most towns have got saw sharpening companies. I call them saw sharpening companies, but they will grind your chisel up. If you're going to grind them on a grindstone, really be on a grinding wheel, you can't afford them to get hot. If they get hot, the metal becomes annealed and it becomes soft, and that's not a good thing. Ideally, they're done on a sandstone, but the companies that will sharpen your chisels up will do them professionally, and they won't be annealed. You may well be asked two types of sharpening, whether you like it, whether you want it flat sharpened or hollow grained. Flat grained or hollow grained. I like hollow grained for joinery and at home on small things, because it's actually easier to hone it. For honing it, what we're talking about is putting an extra sharp edge just there, just that very fine edge. If it's hollow grained, you can rest that both edges on your slipstone. That makes it easier. Or you can buy a tool that you set your chisel in and rub up and down. But as I say, this is DIY. You might not want to go to the expense of buying a tool. So that being the case, then hollow grain is the answer. Okay, let's show you how to do it now, because that's what we come for. So I'm going to do the small chisel. So we don't need that big in either way. It's not very likely that you're going to be using a big chisel like that unless you're building yourself a barn or something. Right, we're going to start on the rough side. The first thing to do is to simply put your chisel flat on the stone and rub it the full length and back again. Cover all of the stone when you do that, because what you don't want to do is over the years you don't want to wear this stone out so that it's hollow. You want it to keep it flat if you can. Right, so we've done that. Now if there's any burr on that, that's a nail or sticking up like this. So we're going to take that off, aren't we? So flat on there, and you put it on flat. You can feel it's flat because it rests like it. So you're going to go and you're going to do this like S shape or figure of 8 shape like that. Try and keep it flat, and you're keeping your finger on that to keep it flat. Okay, what you don't want to do is to get it to tip up like that or tip back like that. You're trying to encourage a flat surface that always will be easy to control. And the reason why we're doing this S shape is because we're spreading the wear rate over the whole of the stone. Now you might say we missed that bit and we missed that bit, but that's the reason why we're going to go flat like that, and we're going to do a couple like that. Then when we've done a few of those and you look at your stone and you can see that it's now rubbed it and it's shiny all the way across, we're going to use the other side, the smooth side, and do exactly the same thing again, one like that. And the reason why we keep doing it is because what you want is you need this side of the chisel to be really smooth and sharp, really smooth. The reason is, if it's not smooth, then this edge across here is never ever going to be sharp. It's going to be up and downy. So, right, so back we go to this then. So, do a couple of them. Then check that it's flat. Finger on there. S shape. Sorry, figure of 8. And you can go in either direction. You can go back that way if you want. Do you know what? I find it more difficult going backwards. So that's the sort of thing, and you can hear it, you can feel it, and you can hear it actually taking metal off. Then we're going to go flat and do a few of those. And it really doesn't matter how many of those. Now after a while, after a few of these, and you look at the face, and you can see the face of that now is quite shiny across that front edge. So now we've got to get, there's a burr on that. Now what we're looking at is that this hollow grained one, and we've now taken off, whoops a daisy, we've now taken off a piece of that and a piece of that. So this would now be curled back, because that's a very fine edge. We want to remove that curly edge. And to do that, there's several ways you can do it. Now I do it, and I'm not recommending this to you at all, I do it like that on my hand. It's because I'm probably out on a building site somewhere and that's the best way to do it. There's several other ways of doing it. A piece of wood, and just like that. This is actually a piece of teak, and that's what I keep in my shed, and that's what I use in my shed. Or if you've got a nice long piece of teak like that, you'll use that like you would use a razor, a strop. Got a bit of glue on there, look at that. We don't want that there, do we, if we can help it. Anyway, that sort of thing, and not too hard. You can do it quite lightly. Alternative to that, a piece of leather. This is an old wallet, didn't hold much money anyway. A similar sort of thing like that, or put it over the bit of wood, and when you've done a couple of those, you could then just give a few more final rubs like so. Now that should be super sharp. How are we going to try that out then? Well, there's this knife, it's a chisel, and that's as good a way as any way of testing it. How's that? So there we go. Hopefully that's helpful. I hope I haven't rabbited on and and done and said things that confuse you. So you can always ask me on my comments, and I'll do what I can. That was a quickly made-uppy typey video that I thought I'll do that this afternoon as I need to sharpen my chisels, and that's what you've got. So where are we? There we are. Good DIYing. Bye.